Hello students, I am Sachin Prakash and I teach and mentor students in chemistry for IIT I believe that the real confidence which is required to crack this IIT exam will come only when you are confident in tackling good problems. And that clarity and understanding of concepts will only develop when you are really comfortable in handling these problems. So this video contains the paper discussion which I have conducted in my uh, classes online. Okay, and a lot of good doubts are there which I have discussed here. It will be helping you people in understanding, developing an understanding in how to approach and tackle good problems. Okay, and if you like this, if you found this paper discussion video to be useful and interesting, you can, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, which will surely, motivate me to add some more useful videos of this type. Okay, because ultimately it's this is just an effort, honest effort, small honest effort from my side to help the student, uh, help my students as well as other students also in their ITJ preparation. So let us begin with this paper discussion. Okay.
So this paper is basically WTM8, which is on based on chemical equilibrium. Okay, so let us start with the paper discussion 51, 52, 53. Any doubts? No. Okay, then we can move forward. 54, 55. 55. Okay, so 55 they are saying that the equilibrium constant A plus B giving C plus D. Okay, A plus B is giving C plus D. Okay, now you see at 298 Kelvin, it is 10 power minus 2 and it is 2 at 273 Kelvin. Okay, okay, it is 10 power minus 2 at 273 Kelvin. The value of K is 2. See, as the temperature is increasing, okay, the value of K is decreasing. Okay, so temperature is increasing, the reaction shifts in the direction of endothermic reaction. Are you getting a point? Now, you see, if the endothermic reaction is forward direction, the value of K will increase. If it is backward reaction, then the value of K will decrease on increasing temperature. Are you getting a point? If endothermic reaction is forward direction, then the value of K will increase. If it is backward direction, the value of K will decrease. In this case, what we are getting? Is it forward or backward? Yes, no. Huh? K is decreasing. Yeah, K is actually decreasing here. Okay. As we are going from 2 to minus 10 power minus 2, the value of K is actually decreasing. So this means that the backward direction is endothermic. This means the forward direction is what? Exothermic. So delta H is negative. Okay. So if delta H is negative, then answer should be A. Are you getting a point? Okay. 55 is done, 56, 57, 58. I think 57 at 57. Okay. 57 we discussed on. Okay, let me discuss 57 first. Okay. You see, you are having two equilibriums. First is COCl2 giving CO plus Cl2. And second equilibrium is PCl5 giving PCl3 plus Cl2. Now this is a simultaneous equilibrium and it is having chlorine as the common species. Okay, now you see, if I disturb one equilibrium, then the concentration of chlorine will change, and that change in concentration of chlorine will disturb the second equilibrium. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay, so what we are doing here, we are increasing the concentration of CO. We have added some moles of CO into the container. Now what will happen? Okay, that I am showing by green. Okay, now what is going to happen is that if you are increasing the concentration of CO, the system will try to remove that extra CO which you have added. So it will go in which direction? Backward direction? Are you getting my point? If this is going in backward direction, this will increase and this will decrease. Up to this you are clear? If the chlorine is decreasing here, then the chlorine will be decreasing here. So if it is decreasing here, then this reaction should move in forward direction. And if this reaction is moving in forward direction, the moles of PCl5 will decrease. Are you getting a point? Moles of PCl3 will increase. So now you can answer any question based on this. I think we discussed this question on Friday itself, no? Okay, so this is the concept. Okay, there is nothing there. Okay, so answer should be C. 57 is C. Okay, after this 58. 58, 59, 60, 61. Okay, so first 58. Okay. Now it is saying that the degree of dissociation in which case cannot be calculated from the vapor density data. Okay, and you see, suppose I am taking this reaction. Okay, 2HI giving H2 plus I2. Now you see, when we discussed the vapor density concept, we told that vapor density should be inversely proportional to the number of moles. Are you getting my point? So if the number of moles is changing, then only you can find the degree of dissociation. Are you getting my point? And total. Now you see, in this case, delta Ng will be 0. Suppose I am taking 1 moles of this, and then 1 minus alpha. Okay, this is alpha by 2 and this is alpha by 2. The N final is still equal to 1 mole only. Are you getting a point? 1 minus alpha plus alpha by 2 plus alpha by 2. Getting my point? So you see, if delta Ng is equal to 0, okay, you cannot, the number of moles will remain same. And initial will be equal to N final. This means that the vapor density will also remain constant. Are you getting my point? So you have to just check which case delta Ng is equal to 0. So what are the cases where delta Ng is equal to 0? This one and this one. Okay. Now this is something which you have to analyze. Okay. See, technically I have tried to give you as many points as possible, for problem solving in the class. But, some things, this exam is about developing your own analytical ability. Are you getting a point? Okay, so you have to think. If you don't think, you can't expect that everything will be spoon-feeded to you. Are you getting a point, everyone? Okay, So after 58, 59. Okay. 1 minute. So in 59, you are having two equilibriums, A giving 2B and C giving D. Okay. And degree of dissociation they are saying is same. So the ratio of pressures, total pressure P and P1. Okay. So let us analyze this equilibrium. First is A is giving 2B and you see they are saying total pressure. Well, this means that they are talking about the equilibrium pressure. Okay. So you see, when we are having equilibrium pressure, then you can go by, taking 1 mole and then taking the mole fractions. So suppose I am taking 1 mole of this, okay, and this is initially 0. At equilibrium, 1 minus alpha and 2 alpha. What will be? And total will be 1 plus alpha. So what is the mole fractions? Mole fraction of A will be 1 minus alpha by 1 plus alpha, and this will be 2 alpha by 1 plus alpha. Okay. And you see total pressure is, first case it is P. P equilibrium, in this case is P. What will be Kp1? Okay, Kp1, it is Kp on, Yeah, it's Kp on. It will be pressure of B square by pressure of A. What is the pressure of B square? Now see, pressure of B will be this into P, mole fraction into total pressure. It will be 2 alpha by 1 plus alpha square into P square by 1 minus alpha by 1 plus alpha into P. Are you getting my point? So this will cancel out. Okay. So this is a 4 alpha square. And you see 1 plus alpha will get cancelled out by 1 plus alpha here. So if you just, are you getting this? Yes or no? Okay. Now we have, so this is Kpu for the first case. Now, second is, similarly we have to analyze the second equilibrium. Second equilibrium is C is giving D. Okay. So initially you are starting with P1, 1 mole, okay, 0. Now you see alpha is same in this case also. I can write 1 minus alpha and alpha. Okay. Huh? Okay, it is D plus E is there. Okay. Okay. So this will also be 0. So 1 minus alpha, alpha and alpha. Okay. So I think this question is there in your lecture sheet or practice sheet. This directly from the study material itself. Because I remember someone asking this question. There's some change? Okay, let me check. Okay. Means I have done this question for you people in doubts. I think it should be in the doubts group also. So let me just try this question. Okay. So you see, in this case, P equilibrium is equal to P1, right? Okay. So what is the N total? N total will be 1 plus alpha again. So what is the mole fraction? It will be 1 minus alpha by 1 plus alpha, alpha by 1 plus alpha, and alpha by 1 plus alpha. Okay. So if I am writing Kp1, it will be pressure of D. What is pressure of D? Alpha by 1 plus alpha into total pressure, which is P1. Okay, to the power 1, alpha by 1 plus alpha into P1 for E also, pressure of E. Why? It is C. Okay, it is C only, no? Okay. So, 1 minute. Have I done something wrong here? No, it is okay. And here you are having 1 minus alpha by 1 plus alpha into P1. Again, P1 will cancel out. This 1 plus alpha will cancel out. It will be alpha squared by 1 minus 1 minus alpha squared into P1. Now it is given that Kp by Kp1 is equal to 2. And I have the expressions also. 4 alpha square by 1 minus alpha square into P. Yeah, alpha square by 1 minus alpha square into P1. So you see, this whole thing and this whole thing will cancel out. So basically, it is 4P by P1. Now I am required P1 by P or P by P1? P by P1 only is required. So P by P1 is equal to 2 by 4. It is 1 by 2. The answer is 1. Option 1. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. A bit of patience is required, but you see, I have always trust you people to finish the lecture sheet and practice sheet problems. If you have done those things properly, there's no reason why you shouldn't get this question correctly. Okay, after this, 59, 60, 61. 60 is a doubt? 61. 60 is not a doubt? Okay. Explain 60. 1 minute. Okay. Now you see. Okay, 60. I should write it here. There is no space. You see, reaction is N2O4 giving 2NO2. N2O4 giving 2NO2. And if the degrees of dissociation of N2O4, alpha is changing. So suppose I am writing 1 and 0. And then at equilibrium it is 1 minus alpha and 2 alpha. Then N total is 1 plus alpha. Okay. So you see, if I am writing D, now vapor density is inversely proportional to the number of moles. If I am writing D initially by D final, okay, or D final by D initial, okay, then it will be what? N final by N initial. Okay, and what is N initial is 1 and 1 by alpha. So you see, D initial is always constant because it is the molar mass of N2O4 by 2. But D final will be changing as per the alpha. I can write dF is equal to D initial by 1 plus alpha. Okay, so you see, if the value of alpha is increasing, then the value of dF will decrease. Are you getting my point? So answer is option A. Okay? Yeah. So after 60, 61. Okay. Again, this is similar type of question is there in the lecture sheet or practice sheet. Yeah. What again? If so it is decreasing, no? What are you saying? Okay. Yeah. So let us say 61. Okay. Now you see, you have calcium carbonate, and 20 grams of calcium carbonate is basically 0.2 moles. 20 by 100. Okay. And you have put it in 10 liter flask and 35% of the. Okay. So it is decomposing like CaO plus CO2. This is solid, and this is gaseous. Okay. So initially you have 0.2 moles. Okay. 0 and 0. Finally, you have 0.2 into 1 minus alpha 0.2 alpha and 0.2 alpha. 1 minute. Okay. Now, always remember one thing, that right now we know the value of alpha. Alpha is how much? Alpha is 0.35. So this will be what? 0.2 into 0.65 is 0.13 moles. So 0.07 moles have gone, so you will be getting 0.07 here and 0.07 here. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Now, you see, Kc will be only equal to concentration of CO2. Are you getting my point? And Kp will only be equal to pressure of CO2. Why? Because these are solids. So, 1 minute, what are they? Okay, 35% is unreacted. Yeah, so alpha will be 65%. Yeah. That is, so it will be, yeah, you are correct. Okay. So it will be like 0.35. Okay, basically this will reverse. It will be 0.07 here, and this will be 0.13. What? Yeah, you can take like 0.2 minus x and x. You are talking about that only now, right? But then again, you have to use alpha is equal to x by 0.2. So it will come to the same position. Right? Okay. So you see, they are asking about Kp. Now Kp will be pressure of CO2, and what is pressure of CO2? Pressure of CO2 is nRT by V. So N is like 0.13, R is 1 by 12, T is 1073 by V star. So if we do the calculation, have you done the calculation? Oh no. 1073 into 0.13, that is there, divided by 120. It is 1.162 ATM. So the closest answer is option A. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. So 61 is done. Okay, after this 62, 63, 64. 62. Okay. Okay, one by one. 62. You have 2 moles of an equimolar mixture of acetic acid of alcohols, and it is reacting with 1 mole of acetic acid. 80% of acetic acid is consumed. Okay. So basically you are taking 1 mole of acetic acid, I am writing as ACOH, and it will be only 0.8 moles is consumed. Okay. Now 0.8 moles is consumed. Some is consumed with R1OH and some is consumed with R2OH. If the esterification reaction is something like this. CH3 C double bond OH plus HOR1. Okay, this will be giving an equilibrium. You see, this goes out. You'll be getting CH3 C double bond O. Okay. R1 plus H2. Okay, so you see, if you are using X moles of this, you will be getting X moles of ester. Getting my point? Yes or no? Now it is saying that in this 0.8 moles of acetic acid which is consumed, the ratio of esters which are found in equilibrium are 3:2. Okay, this means that if 5 moles, what will be the mole fraction of ester which is reacting with R1OH? It will be 3/5. And the mole fraction reacting with R2OH will be 2/5. Okay, we did this type of question, if you remember, in thermochemistry, the 2 acid wala question which I have discussed. So you see, what is the moles of acetic acid which is reacting here? That is 0.8 into 3/5. 0.8. Okay, so it will be like 0.48 moles. And it will be giving 0.48 moles of ester. In this case, it will be 0.32 moles of acetic acid is reacting. Okay. Now, there are the equilibrium constant for esterification of R1OH with acetic acid. Okay. So, let me write this in details. CH3 C11OH plus HOR1 CH3 C11OR1 plus H2. Okay, and same I can write for the second one also. C11O R2 plus H2. And you see, water is the medium, so it will be an excess. So we won't be talking about water. Okay, you see, at equilibrium, if I'm talking about, okay, what is the moles of what is this? Acetic acid. 80% is consumed. So how much is remaining? 20%? Yes or no? So here also it will be 0.2. Okay, this one. The screen is tough. 1 minute. 1 minute, 1 minute. Is it okay now? Yes or no? Can you see the screen now? Okay. Now you see, initially R1OH was 1 mole. But if you are having, initially if you started with 1 mole of R1OH, okay, and this part reacted with 0.48 moles of acetic acid. So what will be the remaining part of R1OH at equilibrium? Can you tell me? See, you started with an equimolar ratio of R1OH and R2. It is 1 mole and 1 mole. So now 1 minus, it will be 0.48. It will be 0.52 moles. And what will be the moles of R2OH at equilibrium? 1 minus 0.32. Are you getting my point? And you will be getting 0.48 moles of ester here and 0.32 moles of ester here. So you see, you have gotten what we call as the equilibrium concentration. So they are asking about the Kc for the thing. Have they given volume? They have not given volume, right? So if they have not given volume, let us take it to 1. What will be Kc? Kc will be concentration of CH3 Kc1, CH3COOR1 at equilibrium by concentration of CH3COOH at equilibrium into concentration of R1OH. So CH3CO, it is 0.48 by 0.2 into 0.52. Huh? Okay, I will explain. Just let me just first get the answer first. Okay. So it will be 0.48 divided by 0.2 into 0.52. So answer is coming out to be 4.6. Have we done any calculation mistake here at any point of time? See, the logic is that 2 minus 0.48. Why 2 moles of, why it will be 2 minus 0.48? Yeah, so if total moles is 2, then you are having 1 mole of R1OH and 1 mole of R2OH, no? Equimolar mixture means you have equal ratios of A and B, and total moles are 2 moles, and mole fraction of each component is 1 by 2. So R1OH will be 1 and R2OH will be 1, no? %% of acid is consumed. 1 minute. You see, 1 mole of acetic acid we are starting with, and 0.8 moles of acetic acid is consumed. This you are left with 0.2 moles in equilibrium. Okay. Now you see, it is saying that whatever ester is formed, their ratio is 3:2. This means that acetic acid 3 by 5 mole fraction of acetic acid must have reacted with R1OH, and 2 by 5 must have reacted with R2OH. Are you getting my logic? Yes or no? So if 3 by 5 moles of acid, 3 by 5 mole fraction of the reacted acetic acid is reacting, then it will be how much? 3 by 5 into 0.8 moles of acetic acid? So it will be what? 3 by 5 into 0.8, it would be 0.48 moles of acetic acid, which has reacted with R1OH. That is why you are getting 0.48 moles of ester. 1. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Let me first check the answer now. 62. It is saying 0.48. Okay, they are taking water into account also. Okay. So if you are taking water into account, then in the first step you will be getting like 0.48 moles, and in the second step you will be getting like 0.32 moles. So since water will be added here, so this will be 0.8. Okay, they are taking into account water also. Acha, so if they are 1 minute, just let me just get the answer and then I can explain it to you like multiple times. In 2.8, 3.69. Yeah. Now you can ask which step you are not getting. Tell me. Huh? Can you speak a bit louder because I'm not able to. Okay, yeah. You see, it is given that you are having an equimolar mixture of alcohols. and you have 2 moles of alcohol mixture. So equimolar means both are half-half. So you have 1 mole of R1OH and 1 mole of R2H. Are you getting my point up to this? Okay. Now you see, this is the ester reaction. CH3COH, if it is reacting with an alcohol, this OH and H will go and you will get H2O plus an ester. Okay. So if X moles of acetic acid is reacting, you will get X moles of ester and X moles of H2O. Are you getting this? Okay. Now it is saying that you started initially with 1 mole of acetic acid. Okay. And out of that, 80% of acid reacted. So how much left? Means 0.2 moles. Are you getting? Yes or no? I want your feedback at each and every step. So I have written that at equilibrium, 0.2 moles of acetic acid is remaining. Okay. Now you see, it is saying that this 0.8 moles is reacting with, some part of this 0.8 moles is reacting with R1OH and some part is reacting with R2OH. Okay. And the product ratio is 3:5, 3:2. Okay. The product ratio is 3:2. Means the fraction of this 0.8 moles which is reacting with R1OH will be 3/5. Okay, and the fraction which is reacting with R2OH will be 2/5. Then only you will get 3:2. Okay, so if that is the case, then what will be the moles? You see 0.8 moles and the fraction 3/5 of this 0.8 moles is reacting with R1OH. So moles of acetic acid which is reacting with this R1OH will be 0.8 into 3/5. Are you getting this? And moles of acetic acid which is reacting with R2OH is 2/5 into 0.8. Okay, or you can simply deduct this with the original. So both cases you will get answer to be 0.32 moles. So you see 0.48 moles of acetic acid reacted with this. So you will get 0.48 moles of ester 1. And this will give 0.32 moles of ester 2. 1 minute. Getting my point? Yes or no? Now, you see that I have written here 0.548 moles of this and 0.32 moles of this. Okay. Now you see water is a common reactant. So in this, in the first reaction, 0.48 moles of ester along with 0.48 moles of ester, 0.48 moles of water will also be formed. Okay. And in the second reaction with 0.32 moles of ester, you will also get 0.32 moles of water. So what is the total quantity of water? Is 0.32 plus 0.48. So it will be 0.8 moles of water in both cases. It is a common reactant, common product. Are you getting a point? So if I am writing it like this, see normally in esterification reaction, we take water to be excess because water a lot of time is acting as a medium. But since they are not using it as a medium here, okay, so we have to take the moles of water also into account. Okay, so this will be a point. So for first reaction, as moles of ester 0.48 into moles of H2O, which is 0.8 by 0.2 into 0.52. We will cancel out because delta Ng is 0. Are you getting my point? Yes. You see, if you consider both these reactions separate, from the first reaction, how many moles of H2 you are getting? 0.48? Yes, no. And the second reaction you are getting how much? 0.32. These two are separate reactions, but they are occurring simultaneously. Are you getting my point? So total moles will be sum of water from here and sum of water from here. Getting my point? Yes, no. So that is the case. Okay. So this is how we'll be doing this question. Everyone is clear? 62? Okay. Then after this, 63, 64, 65. 63 or 4? 65. 65, which is saying which of them is a reversible reaction. So you see CaCO3 when you are heating in a closed vessel, then you will be getting an equilibrium CaO plus CO2. Okay. In this case, this is an equilibrium because CO2 can react back with CO to give CaCO3. Okay. In all other cases, this case you will get KCl plus O2. Okay. In this case, if you are heating Na2CO3, okay, if you are heating very strongly, you will get Na2O plus CO2. Okay, but this is not an equilibrium. Okay, this is something like a fact-based question. And CH4, if you are reacting with O2 in a closed vessel, you will be getting like CO plus H2. Okay. So all these cases, only this one is an equilibrium. I think you have encountered it in the questions also. See, there is no way of, no formula through which you can identify a question as a reversible or a irreversible equilibrium. Are you getting a point? So that will be totally based on whatever questions you have done in, based on that experience, you can get. You could have gotten the hint from the question which was asked here that CaCO3 is in decomposition of CaCO3 is in equilibrium. Are you getting a point? Okay. After 65, 66. You have to see in which case either reactant or product is having some color. Then only a change in equilibrium, a reaction will proceed with, change in color. So you see, SO2, O2 and SO3 all are colorless, N2, H2 and NH3 all are colorless. HI giving H2 plus I2. You say I2 is violet vapors. So that is the only color which is there. Okay. And carbon plus CO2 giving CO all are colorless. So only option is option C. Okay. So you see colors you will be getting as you will be going through this course. Okay. You cannot mug it up all. What are the colors? A lot of colors you will be getting in salt analysis and all those things. So, okay. So after this, 66, 68. Okay. So let us see 68. CaF2 solid is giving Ca2 plus aqueous plus 2F minus aqueous. Okay. Let me write this question. 68. CaF2 is giving Ca2 plus 2F minus aqueous. This is solid. So you see K for this reaction will be simply calcium 2 plus into calcium F minus square. Okay, and we call it a solubility product. We'll be discussing it in ionic equilibrium. Okay, so it is saying that increasing the concentration. So let us say that its concentration at equilibrium is X. Okay, so suppose I am saying that, you know, increasing the concentration 4 times. What will happen to the equilibrium concentration of? So let us say that at equilibrium the concentration is X and this concentration is Y. Okay, so what will be KSP? Can you tell me? What is the equilibrium constant? XY square? Okay, now you see, now I have changed the concentration of X to 4X. And say this concentration has changed to Y1. Then at new equilibrium. Then what will be the equilibrium constant here? Into 4X into Y1 square. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? And both equilibrium constants will be same because the temperature is same here. There is no change in temperature. Are you getting my point? So this and this will be same. So if I am writing xy square is equal to 4x y1 square, then y1 is equal to y by 2. So 1/2 of the initial value. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. So 68 is done. 69 and 70. No doubts? Anyone? Okay. Now that is good. Okay. One half of its initial value. So if the 1/2, huh? 1/2 means 1 by 2, no. 1/2 is 3 by 2. Half and 1/2 is the same thing. See, I say 1/4 or quarter. If nothing is mentioned before it, it is default taken to be 1 only. Are you getting my point? Okay. You haven't marked any of the options? Yes? Okay. Anyways, this is not a big issue. If you got this thing correct, then your chemistry is good. Okay, don't worry about other things. Okay, focus only on the concepts. 70, up to 70 is done. 71 is a doubt? Yeah. So I was trying to do some, So you see, this is the equilibrium, 2Hi giving H2 plus I2. Okay. Now you see, it is saying that the degree of dissociation of Hi is 0.8. And they are starting with 2 moles each of H2 and I2. Okay. So you see, like the language of this question is a bit ambiguous. But you see, if you are starting with 2 moles of H2 and I2, and you assume that the reaction is complete, then you will get 2 moles of Hi. And then you can think of a reverse reaction, which is 2Hi giving H2 plus I2. Are you getting my point? So from that side also you will reach the same equilibrium. I have told you that you can reach the same equilibrium whether you are starting with reactant or you are starting with product. Okay, so whether you are taking 2 moles each of H2 and I2, then also you will get H2, I2 and Hi in the equilibrium. And whether you are starting with 2 moles of Hi, still you will get H2, I2 and Hi in the equilibrium. So you see 2 moles of H2 and I2 means that you are starting with 2 moles of Hi also. Then also you will get the same equilibrium. So I am starting with 2 moles of Hi and I know my degree of dissociation is 80%. So you see at equilibrium you will be getting 2 into 1 minus alpha, 2 alpha and 2 alpha. So moles of Hi in equilibrium is 0.4 and moles of H2 and I2 is 1.6 and 1.6. Are you getting up to this? Now you see a quick method of estimating the concentration of any of the components of an equilibrium is to do a redox reaction with it. Okay, so you see iodine will undergo redox reaction with Na2H2O3. Okay, so what I am doing is that I am reacting iodine with Na2H2O3. So equivalence of iodine will be equal to equivalence of hypo. So an N factor of iodine in the iodine hypo reaction is 2. So equivalence of iodine will be 1.6 into 2. Moles is 1.6. So you'll be having 3.2 equivalence of I2. So you'll have 3.2 equivalence of Na2H2O3. Okay. So what is the, what you say is, it is given that you are using a 2 molar Na2O. So you see 2 molar into N factor is 1 into volume is V. It is equal to 3.2. So V is equal to 1.6. Getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. So this is how you'll be doing this question. After 71, 72, 73. Okay. Yes. 73. Okay. So I have to solve because 73 I have not seen. 72 is something I think similar type of question I discussed in class also. Was it exactly the same question or similar type? No, the equation was different. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let us see 73. Okay, so 73 is saying that you are having an equilibrium SO3 giving SO2 plus half O2. Okay, and temperature is like 900 Kelvin. Okay, and pressure and equilibrium pressure is 1 atm here. Okay, it is given that the density of equilibrium mixture is 0.925 gram per liter. Okay, so what will be the degree of dissociation? Okay. So you see initially what was the molar mass of the mixture? Can you tell me? Initially what was there in S? 80? Okay. I think this question also we have discussed for PCL 5 actually. Okay. So, and you know, after equilibrium is established, okay, then you will have a mixture of SO3, SO2 and O2. Okay. So say initially I am starting with 1 mole of this, 0 and 0. Okay, then at equilibrium, what will be the, suppose I say that it is 1 minus alpha, it is alpha by 2. So what will be the final number of moles at equilibrium? 1 plus alpha by 2. Okay, now you see at equilibrium, let us say that the mixture is having some molar mass, MW. Okay, I can write PMW is equal to rho RT. Can I write it or not? So I can find out MW. MW will be rho RT by T. This will be the average molar mass of the mixture. Okay. So if I am doing this, rho is how much? Rho is 1.84. Is it 1.84? No. It's 0.925. Into R is how much? 1 by 12. Into T is how much? 900. By pressure is 1. So 12 by 900. Okay, let me just do the calculation for you people. Is 0.925 into 1082 into 900. It will be coming out to be 68.26. Okay. Now you see, molecular weight is inversely proportional to number of moles. in a closed container equilibrium. Are you getting my point? Vapor density, molar mass is both are inversely proportional to number of moles. Closed vessel equilibrium. Okay, so you see, I can write MW final by MW initial. That will be equal to N initial by N final. N initial, I have started with 1 mole, and finally I am having 1 plus alpha by 2. So 68.26 by 80 is equal to 1 by 1 plus alpha by 2. I take inverse of this, so I can get 80 by 68.26 is equal to 1 plus alpha by 2. This value will come out to be 80 divided by 68.2. 1.17 is equal to 1 plus alpha by 2. So alpha is equal to 0.34. So they have given a range between 0.33 to 0.35. Okay. So this will work. I think I have discussed this question on PCL 5. Yes. Huh? Okay. So I think you should be able to do this question. Yes. Yeah, they have given the range from 0.33 to 0.35. 0.33, 0.34, 0.35. All will do. Now, range is given. See, if range is given, anything which falls under that range will be assumed to be correct. They will give marks for 0.34 also. Okay? That is the whole definition of range now. Anything falling between that will be considered to be correct. 74, 75. Okay, 74. Okay. 75 is also a doubt? Yes, no. Yes. Let me first do 75. Okay. I'm bored of, this is an aqua solution question. So, you see, actually they should be asking the aqua solution question in ionic equilibrium. This is a bit of, not the right thing to do. So let me try. Okay, Ag plus Fe2 plus, because these things we'll be discussing in ionic equilibrium only. Fe3 plus Ag. Okay. So you see, you are starting with 500 ml of 0.515 molar AgNO3. Okay. So initially, you are having 500 into 1.5. Sorry. 500 into 0.15. It is how much? 75. Yeah. It is 75 only. Yeah, it is 75. So you are starting with 75 millimoles of Ag plus. And to this, you are adding 1.09 molar and 500 ml. So it will be like 545, right? Am I doing it correct? Yeah. 545 millimoles of Fe2 plus. Now, when you have added these two, the volume has become 1 liter. Okay. So number of moles will be also representing your concentration. Now, at equilibrium, you will be having some dissociation. 75 minus X, 545 minus X, and this will be X, but this is solid, so we won't be considering it in the equilibrium constant expression. Now it is saying that 25 ml of this solution requires 30 ml of 0.0832 molar KMnO4 for oxidation. Now you see, which of these species would undergo oxidation? Tell me. Fe, which Fe? There are two Fe, Fe2 plus, Fe3 plus. Fe2 plus. Okay. So you see, Fe2 plus will undergo reaction with MnO4 minus. Okay, and it will be giving products. So for 25 ml solution, what is the milliequivalence of Fe2 plus? Should be equal to milliequivalence of MnO4 minus. And so you see, it is like 30 ml of 0.0832. And N factor, if nothing is given, you have to take it to be 5. Okay. This should be equal to Fe2 plus. Let us say that the millimoles of Fe2 plus is Y. So Y into N factor is 1. Huh? It is good. Yeah, we have to take. If nothing is mentioned, you have to take. Technically, they should give it, but if they have not given anything, then you have to assume it to be 5 only. Okay. So you see, from this I can get Y is equal to, let me do the calculation. It's 30 into 5 into 0.0832. So it is 12.48 MEQs. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Okay. Now you see, in fact, this is the milliequivalence of Fe2 plus, and that will also be millimoles of Fe2 plus in 20 ml of solution. Okay, 25, yeah. So you see, 25 ml of this equilibrium mixture we have reacted. Okay, so you see, 25 ml was containing 12.48 millimoles of Fe2 plus. So 1000 ml will be containing how many millimoles? You are multiplying of 40 here, so you have to multiply this by 40 here. So let us do that thing. .48 into 40. It's almost 499.2 millimoles. Now you see, in 1000 ml, you are having, so this value, 1 minute. This value is 499.2 at equilibrium. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? So what is the value of X? Minus 545 is 45.8. Okay, so now you can write the Kc. Kc will be what? Concentration of Fe3 plus by concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Fe2 plus. Fe2 plus, I already know it is, like 0. You see, it is like in 1000 ml, it is, all these are in millimoles only. So what will be value of this? Let us calculate this also. It's 75 minus 45.8. Just 29.2 millimoles. So you see, 29.2 millimoles in 1000 ml of solution. Okay. So what will be the concentration of Fe3 plus? Millimoles, which is 29.2 by volume in milliliter, which is 1000. So the 0.0292. Okay. Concentration of Fe3. What is concentration of Ag plus? Oh, okay, it is Ag plus, no? Let me check. Yeah, this is Ag plus, which is 29.2. So that we have divided by 100. Fe2 plus, concentration of Fe2 plus, it will be 499.2 by 1000. That is equal to 0.4992. And concentration of Fe3 plus, it will be equal to 45.8 by 1000. It will be 0.0458 molar. Are you getting my point? So you see, it will be equal to 0.0458 divided by concentration of Ag plus is 0.0292 into concentration of Fe2 plus, which is 0.4992. Okay, I have taken very exact values, so let us see the answers. 0.0458. It is 3.14. Okay, let me check. Yeah, it is coming out to be 3.14. They have given answer to be like 1.84 to 1.86. Let me check. Okay. 0.075, 0.5045. That was okay. 30 into 0.0835. So they have got X to be 0.035 and we are getting it to be 0.048. So where is the discrepancy here? Okay, 0.0832 into 30. I think they have taken some different value of, you see, they have taken 0.0835. And we have taken, and we are, while it is given to 0.0832. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? So that is why the difference is coming. Okay. They are taking 0.0835, but in the question it is given to be 0.0832. Okay. So this is going for key change. Are you getting my point? Yes, no? Are you okay with the process? Did you understand how we did this? Okay, so this is the process, and this is going for a key change here. They have taken it to be 0.0835. Okay. So 75 is done. Now last question of the day, which is 74. Okay. So 74. Okay. Yes. So you have a 250 ml flask and a 100 ml flask connected by a stopper. So I am having one flask like this, another flask like this. I have connected it. Okay. And the volume here is 0.25 liters. The volume here is 0.1 liters. Okay. And it is given that there is a valve which is closed right now. And at 350 Kelvin, the nitric oxide in the larger flask exerts a pressure of 0.4. Nitric oxide is NO. So here it is NO. Its pressure is 0.46 initially. Okay, and the smaller one contains oxygen, which is at 0.86 atm. Okay, and then you open the flask. Okay, so when you open the flask, you can consider that now the volume is like 0.35 liters, because now both volume is available for both the gases. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? The moment you open the flask, both volumes are available for movement of both the gases. So now the volume has increased to 0.35 liters. So what we do is that calculate the number of moles. What will the moles of NO? It will be 0.46 into V is 0.25 by R is 1 by 12 into T is how much? 350 Kelvin. Okay, so or just write RT, because you know both are having the same thing and ultimately we are interested. So it will be what? 0.46 into 0.25. Let me just 0.46 into 0.25. It is 0.115 by RT. Okay, in this case, moles of O2, it will be 0.86 into 0.1 0.1 by RT. Okay, so it is 0.086 by RT. These are the moles of O2 and NO. Now you see the moles will remain the same initially. When you have, so you see now you are having NO and O2 in this vessel. Okay, now an equilibrium is established. Okay, so first reaction is complete and the second reaction is in equilibrium. So you see first this reaction is taking place. First it is 2NO plus O2 giving 2NO2. So you see initially you are having 0.115 by RT moles of this, 0.086 by RT moles of this, and finally now the reaction is completing. So you have to see which one is the limiting reagent. Can you tell me which one is the limiting reagent? O2 is a limiting reagent. Why O2 is a limiting reagent? Tell me. Really? Means after, what was the concept of limiting reagent? Moles by stoichiometric coefficient should be minimum. Which case it is minimum? And no, it is 0.115 by 2, it is 0.57, 0.057, and this is 0.86. So this is the limiting reagent. So this will become 0 at the end of the reaction. And this will be so if this is consumed, this one which is left is 0.086 RT minus, see 2 moles is giving 1 mole, is reacting with 1 mole, so 0.115, so 1 mole will be reacting with half mole of O2. So 0.115 by 2 RT moles of O2 it will react, and this will decide the product. This will be how much? It will be 0.115 by RT. So if you do the calculation, it will be like 0.086 minus 0.115 divided by 2. Okay, it will be like 0.0285 by RT. Okay, so this many moles of O2 remains at equilibrium, and this much amount of N2O4 is NO2 is formed. Up to this, everyone is clear? Now this reaction is complete, they are saying. Okay. Now you see, now this equilibrium is established. N2O4 giving 2NO. Now for this equilibrium, this O2 is an unreactive gas. It is not a part of the equilibrium. It is neither reacting with N2O4, neither it is reacting with NO2. Okay. So it will exert its pressure, presence does not, will only affect the total pressure. Okay, so let us say that initially I am having 0.115 by RT moles of this, and this is 0. At equilibrium, let us say, yes, what are you saying? Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it is 2NO2 giving N2O4. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. So this is 0. So 0.115 by RT minus 2P and P. Okay. And it is given that the total pressure is 0. So P equilibrium is equal to 0.37. Okay. That is equal to the pressure of NO2 plus pressure of N2O4 plus pressure of O2 also. Plus at equilibrium O2 is also there. Okay, it is silent but it is there. The pressure of NO2 is 0.115 by RT minus 2P and plus pressure of N2O4 is P plus pressure of O2 is 0.02. Okay, these are number of moles, no? Right? So we have to convert this into pressure. Right? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, can we calculate the number of the pressure exerted at the end of this reaction? What is the pressure of NO2? Will be nRT by V. Can we write it like this? Yes or no? So N of NO2 is given to be how much? 0.115 by RT into RT by V is how much? 0.35. So RT will cancel out. It will be 0.115 divided by 0.35. It will be like 0.33 atm. So this is my starting pressure actually. Okay. Similarly, if I am talking about pressure of O2, okay, before the start of the equilibrium, it will be nRT by V again, 0.0285 by RT into RT by 0.35. RT will cancel out. We'll get 0.0285 divided by 0.35. It will be 0.08 atm. Now the things are looking a bit tidy. So you can write it as 0.33 minus 2P and P. So now the things will be looking pretty okay. So I can write it as 0.33 minus 2P plus P plus 0.08. So I can write it as 0.41 minus P. That is equal to 0.37. So the value of P will be 0.04 atm. Are you getting this up to this point? So what is the pressure of NO2 at equilibrium? It will be 0.33 minus 2P, 2 into 0.04. It will be 0.25 atm. What is the pressure of N2O4 at equilibrium? It will be equal to P. It is 0.08 atm. So if I am writing Kp will be pressure of N2O4 by pressure of NO2 square. It is 0.08 by Pressure of N2O4. Pressure of NO2 square will be how much? What is pressure of NO2? It is 0.25. Okay. So they're asking Kp only. Okay, so let me check. It will be 0.8 divided by 0.25 square. So it will be coming out to be, no, it's 0.08. It is coming out to be like 1 minute. Okay, yeah, it will be 0.04, yeah. Yeah, so if it is 0.04, then your answer will come out to be 0.64. So they have given a range between 0.62 to 0.66. Are you getting a point? Did you understand this method first? That everyone is getting? Okay. So I think they asked this question 2 years back also. And I think because I'm remembering that I got this type of a familiar question. But you see, the idea is that I can't make you do all the questions which have come in China papers of previous year. I tried to give you some good questions which are there. But ultimately, you see, the problem solving totally depends on, practice as well as, some amount of understanding is required. Plus, then there is calculation factor also. But from concept point of view, any point where you found that the paper was like not known to you or something like that? Yeah, the ionic equilibrium part is something which I am going to raise. That question number 75. Okay, and then question number 75 only because it is purely related to ionic equilibrium. Question 71 I can't say because they have mentioned a gaseous equilibrium here. But 75 I can say. Question number 68 also I can say. Okay, because it is totally ionic equilibrium. 68, 75, and I think that's it. Okay, so these two questions I am going to mark as out of syllabus. Is it okay? Anything else which you want to say from your side? Okay, I'm just stopping the recording.